Oh, sorry. We got it. Good morning, everybody. We are here on the IPA call. This is a special call. We're going to have Kristen White come on. Of course, she is a product guru, a product specialist. We're going to have her come on and tell us about AbVantage. She's got a presentation here. Getting ready for this body balance challenge. Adding this AbVantage is going to be huge for us. So we want to go. So here you go. Sorry, I got somebody beeping in there. Go ahead, Kristen.
All right. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited. This has turned into one of my favorite products. I have to say, I was a little skeptical of it when it first came out. I didn't think it was going to work. I had taken other thermogenics and I was like, how can this be a real thermogenic if it doesn't have a stimulant in it? I don't see some of the stuff I'm used to when a thermogenic like formula comes out from my 20s. But anyways, I got put in the trial. I've been using it now since September, and I have to say, every month, I keep getting more results. And obviously, this is a great picture. I'm proud of this picture. I'm 40. I feel like I'm looking better. But I want to say, and I'm going to talk about it, I really think this is actually a true health product as much as it is a vanity product that we want to look better. And I want to talk to you about brown fat and how this product activates and revives your brown fat. What does that mean? That means, yes, you could get some abs, you could get a smaller waist, but we want to keep brown fat activated and revived because as you age, it does start declining. And when you hear fat, sometimes you think, I don't know if I want any fat. Like fat kind of sounds like a bad word in general, but brown fat is not. It's very healthy. It is not the same as white fat. So I'm going to take you through a little story on that so you can know the difference. Because people are going to ask you if you're trying to sell this product and you say it activates brown fat, and they're like, well, what does that mean? Well, brown fat and white fat are different. So white fat, let's talk about it. White fat is the subcutaneous fat, right? It's what we could pinch, it's what we can grab, it's what jiggles, it's underneath the skin, subcutaneous versus visceral. So visceral is what is in our abdomen, deep down in our abdomen, around organs. It is the dangerous fat. Now, believe it or not, subcutaneous is not that dangerous. Now, too much of it, right? We don't want too much of it because it's not appealing. It doesn't look good, and it could lead to some storage of visceral. But subcutaneous in general is different than visceral. But either way, white fat is a big blob of fat. It's like a little Crisco bubble sitting in your body. It's just one little droplet of fat, and it's white compared to brown fat, which is reddish or brown color, and it's small droplets. And it's very rich in mitochondria, which gives it that color. And it also makes it very metabolically active. Okay, so that's a good thing. The functions of them, white fat is meant to it exists maybe actually it exists to be used later. It's existing to use as storage. That's why we store fat, right? To have as a storage of energy supply in case we need it for a later use. The problem is people just get too much of it and too much of it, and then they obviously gain too much weight. But white fat is meant to hold on to energy. Brown fat exists to burn energy. It literally is there to help you burn the fat that's existing to help keep your body temperature regulated, to help keep you warm. It is your thermogenesis fat, okay, which is really good for you. Now, when we talk about white fat, I don't want you to always think white fat is just terrible. You actually do need a balance of it, right? We think about fat being a signal, the white fat being a signal to keep your hunger level stay satiated. Like you need a little bit because it's going to release that hormone leptin. If you have too little of leptin, you get hungry. Also, if you have too little of leptin, think of women. If they're too lean, they don't have cycles. So leptin is actually still good in balances to keep your fertility up, to make you fertile, reproduction. This is men too. So you do need a balance of it. The problem is too many people get too much of it. And that's where we want to start burning, okay? So let's talk about that again. White fat, it's white, it's not metabolically active, it's holding on for your body to use for energy. Brown fat is metabolically active, it is burning energy, and we're going to talk about how the product activates that, and it is very good at keeping your body in the thermogenic state and keeping you warm. Okay, so let's move into how that actually works as we age as well. So white fat is actually activated too in women subcutaneously through estrogen. So women will hold on to more subcutaneous fat. Believe it or not, ladies, that's a good thing because it's not as dangerous. Men, this is why men will really love and can benefit from AbVantage. So men, if you're not using this product yet, you will hold more visceral fat than us ladies. We tend to hold it in our hips and our booties, and that's subcutaneous fat, right? It's something you can grab. But men, think about this. We have two men, same body fat, um, same same weight, same body fat percentage, and we have two men. They're on a boat fishing, and they're wearing a shirt, and they have their belts on. And one man's belly is gushing over his belt, and I could grab and pinch on that fat. Then you think of the other belly. The other man's belt is hard around and his belly's protruding out and it's hard, right? It almost looks like he swallowed the beach ball. The one who's like a grab and pinch is subcutaneous and the other man's is visceral. Visceral is what is crowding those organs, and that is not good. But the good news is you can burn it faster than subcutaneous. But here's the thing. Subcutaneous fat is insulin sensitive, and subcutaneous fat can be, it's not as inflammatory, I'll put it that way. Visceral fat is going to take on two adaptations the more you get of it because your body says, I can't go anywhere with this visceral fat. This is not good. This is not good on his stomach. This is not good on his intestines. This is not good on his liver. So it's not going to multiply like a subcutaneous fat cell would. It will start to get larger, but it's only going to get so big. You see those bellies, they're only going to get so big until two things happen to that visceral fat. One, it's going to become insulin resistant, and two, it's going to get very pro-inflammatory. That is not good. It's going to start creating more blood vessels because it's going to be losing nutrition, which creates a whole host of problems in your whole body. We don't want to be insulin resistant, and we don't want more blood vessels be going because it's just going to create degenerative disease, right? We know this. Heart disease, all the things that are linked to insulin resistance. We know the things, right? High cholesterol, high blood pressure. This is not good. So what can we do to tackle some visceral fat? And I do think this product actually can get some subcutaneous fat. I think I'm proof of that. But the visceral fat is what's proven to be targeted from our product AbVantage, which I think is so amazing because we want to activate the brown fat. If you don't know where brown fat is, it's not in the stomach, it's not on our hips, it's not in our waist, it's really around the thoracic area, a little bit on the spine, a little bit on the kidneys, but really up in here. And it's meant to be activated to keep you warm, and it will start burning calories. Okay. And that could be because, if you get cold, you got your carotid vessels up here. We want to keep the brain warm as well. I don't know if that's a theory that that's the reason it's here, but it's very small. The cool part about this product is it absolutely activates and revives this brown fat without some of the ways we might not want to revive it. One, I don't like to cold plunge. I absolutely hate being cold. I like the heat. I'm supposed to live in Africa. I'm supposed to live in 100 degrees. I like to stay hot. But cold plunging creates the shivering effect, which activates the brown fat. I don't want to do that every day. That's a very good trend right now. People love to do it. I'm just not going to do it. But omega-3s will also help, and certain things in your diet like capsaicins, which is peppers. But guess what's a capsaicin as well? The grains of paradise, which is an ingredient in our product. It's from the ginger root family, but it is what is going to create and revive this brown fat, which is very, very cool. And it's proven to work. So I'm going to talk about some of the other ingredients in there too. But some people will say, how long will this product take to work for me? Listen, it worked really quick for me. I will not lie. I noticed a difference in a week or two. I felt smaller, trimmer. I've had some people on in a month that say, I just now I'm starting to see a little bit of result. Here is the reason behind that, by the way. So if you've been on AbVantage for a month and you're like, my stomach hasn't dropped like that yet, or it's not going down as fast, I want you to know your brown fat may take a little longer to activate. Could be your age, it could have been your activity level, it could have been your diet beforehand. So think about this. I was already dieting well, exercising well. I already probably had some decent brown fat working in my favor, right? So think of a campfire. I had a campfire going, and then I got some gasoline, which I would consider the AbVantage, and I poured it on my campfire and just went boom, right? So your campfire might not have been as strong as mine. It actually might need some blowing. It might need some waving. It might need a few more sticks, a few more leaves to get the spark going. And that's what the AbVantage is doing right there, getting the spark going, getting the spark going, getting the activation going. And then month 2 or month 3, your AbVantage turns into the gasoline. And I promise it's going to start working, but brown fat will take a little, it could take a little longer to activate or revive. And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, it is on, it is working. Okay, so stick with it, stay on it, because now I've been on it since September. And I feel like every month I'm like, it's getting a little bit better. It's getting a little bit better. So I find this to be a true health product because now I'm thinking I can prevent a visceral fat buildup. I can prevent some of these other things. I can keep my brown fat activated as I age, which will be very important as I get older. So to me, it is a true health product. There are some other ingredients in the product that I think just are enhancers to the grains of paradise. We have B3, and I've listed them out. So we have B3. This is not a direct fat burner, but it does play a role in fat metabolism, okay? We have B6. It does play another role in keeping your metabolism boosted and utilizing stored fat. So we've just got some enhancers going with the product. Chromium. This improves insulin sensitivity. We want to keep you insulin sensitive. When you are insulin sensitive, you do not have as much blood sugars flowing through the bloodstream, and you're preventing weight gain. I think chromium also helps reduce your appetite. So I notice when I use the product, I'm not as hungry for a little bit, and that's from this ingredient. We have L-Tyrosine, maybe one of my favorite ingredients besides the grains of paradise. This is a mood enhancing amino acid. It will help produce neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. It literally makes you feel good. Okay. And then, of course, our final ingredient is the grains of paradise, which I touched on. But just so you know, it will help you burn an extra 100 calories a day. You hear that? An extra 100 calories a day by activating and reviving your brown fat. So long-term use of this product is completely fine. I actually recommend it. My dad just started using it, and I'm like, hey, we can get that tummy down a little bit. You're getting older, but I think we could work on that a little bit. You just never know. So if you haven't started using it, no, it will help increase your metabolism, help burn more calories, and it could prevent weight gain. So if you've gotten off the drops and you're thinking, I need a maintenance plan, this is a good maintenance plan or a good plateau breaker. So I hope this was helpful. We have a great pack going on. Add it to the Body Balance Challenge. And again, it is a true health product as much as it is one that will just make you look fantastic.
Hey, Kristen, just real quick, can you mega dose this or can you take too much?
So I would start with the recommended dosage. I recently just started taking 2 in the afternoon versus 1 because I just wanted to see if there was a difference because I just tend to do that. But it does not make, it's just, again, it's just natural things. It's just amino acids, vitamins, and grains of paradise. I will say if you took too many at one time, you might notice an extreme focus. but it wouldn't hurt you. So I have been taking two at a time in the afternoon.
Yeah, and to throw a couple things in there, since I've known Kristen's mom and dad her basically her whole life, like she doesn't have a mom and dad that worked out and ate really well. They did not. I knew them in their when they were her age, and they did not have Kristen's body. So anybody that blames their genetics on how they are, the sicknesses they deal with, can you be genetically inclined more so than someone else? You absolutely can be, but is that an excuse? No. Evaluate what you're eating. Evaluate supplementation. Evaluate movement, evaluate the negative things you put in your body from alcohol to cigarettes to sugar and make a change. But Chris, I just wanted your abs that in the picture there, you've always worked out the same. Like your workout hasn't changed. And I'm assuming that you haven't changed any dietary considerations either because you always eat perfect. But this alone, 3 times a day, 1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, you feel like it's giving you the best abs of your life.
Yes. I mean, I'm older and I'm like, how does I keep like my stomach keeps looking better. And like you said, I don't come from like what you would consider fit genetics. I feel like I had to work as hard as I could to find that. But this was the piece to me to get what I call that layer off the top that was so hard for me. And now I don't eat perfect. I eat very whole foods, and I think that's how we all should eat. I think that's the proper way. But to me, this has been the game changer for getting that additional layer off my stomach. Yeah, and I have not changed my workouts, not a bit.
Thank you, Kristen. Back to you, Sarah.